Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and these are my favorite sport and racing gloves. Now first up is the shorty option, Alpinestars Celer. Now this is a typical motocross cut, but it's optimized for street use. And the obvious application would be Husky 701, Ducati Hyper Motard, and that kind of thing. Of course, a ton of sport bike guys also choose shorties for the extra airflow and the freer wrist movement. A couple of things I really love about this glove. Now for one, it's a full goat skin construction. Goat leather is more durable than cowhide, so that means it achieves a really good abrasion resistance while still being quite thin and supple. I also love the knuckles. You have to look really close, but there's little ports in here on the front to suck air in and then exhausts on the rear in this low pressure zone to actually suck hot air out. Another big win for me is this pinky bridge. Now if I go into a low side crash, my pinky is the first thing to hit the ground, so it's going to want to roll away and separate from the rest of my fingers. And this little leather strap actually prevents those bone breaking movements. The last big attraction is the index finger. This is coated in a touchscreen ready material. It's actually one of the most responsive I've seen. Other than that, A-Stars just crossed their T's and dotted their I's. We have perforated leather on the cuff and the top of the hand and the 3 longest fingers. We have accordion stretch fabric on the bendy bits, softer TPR shields on 2 digits, and then with the hard knuckle plate, there's a little soft belt in the middle as well for a little bit of comfort play. Now, flipping the glove around, this logo acts as a shield for my wrist bone, and there's a tiny bit of EVA foam on the impact area. I wish Alpinestars had done a hard shield instead, but other than that, the palm is great. It's all goat skin with synthetic suede doubled up on the high stress areas. Fitment wise, my hand is 7 7/8 of an inch long, 9 inches around the palm, and that would put me on the upper end of a large. Now I know enough about A-Stars though to know that they tend to run small, so I got the XL and it looks like I guessed right because these ones actually fit perfectly. Now I had toyed with getting the GP Air, which offers more airflow, or maybe getting the Dainese X Strike, which looks cooler. But both of those are more expensive and they both sacrifice the leather palm, so in the end, it was a no-brainer to get the Celer for me. Now, if I want a true sport bike glove, something race ready that I can take to the track, then I'll have the Alpinestars GP Plus. Now $230, this is about $100 more than the Celer, so let's see what that buys me. Very similar knuckle protectors, very similar pinky bridge. The GP Plus pulls ahead in terms of armoring though. We have rigid TPU on 3 fingers, 2 softer impact protectors, and semi-rigid TPR on the outside of the pinky. Remember that the Celer only had TPR on 2 digits. The GP Plus is better in terms of back of the hand protection as well, and it obviously has a little bit more protection that comes with the extra gauntlet length as well. Flipping it over, we have a more technical closure system on the GP Plus. One main Velcro tag like the Celer, but then we add this second Velcro noose which tucks nicely under this impact foam flap so the Velcro doesn't come undone in a slide. The palm protection is stepped up as well. We have a rigid slider in that low side danger zone rather than simple foam. There's a whole new foamy by the thumb as well. Now speaking of which, we have accordion stretch on both thumbs, but it is one step more technical on the GP Plus. The palm on the GP Plus is also goatskin, but this time the seams are external, and that allows me to have a slimmer interface where I grip onto the controls of my bike. And more than anything else on my list, through this glove, I can really feel the indicator lights and the throttle and the horn and that kind of thing. So that's the Alpinestars GP Plus. Now I could have gotten a softer glove from the SP series or a harder glove from the GP Pro, but for my money, this GP Plus offers the best blend of features. And it's comfortable enough for everyday rides, but it's still protective enough for a track day. Now, I would probably never buy this next glove, and that's a shame because it's the most impressive one on my list. Five's WFX1 waterproof glove is a really hardcore sport bike glove for rainy and winter use. The chassis is leather like the glove we just saw, but the hard parts are carbon weave rather than simple plastic, and with these ones on the outside of the pinky and on the outside of the thumb, we have more of them on the WFX1. The main addition is a Hypora waterproof and breathable membrane layered over 200-gram Thinsulate. So this guy is really dry and really warm. And we also get a more technical closure system. I mean, there's the main Velcro noose and the main Velcro tab, but those are actually augmented as well with this auto-locking zipper and an inner elasticated gaiter. That gives me an excellent tight seal for locking in the heat, locking out the rain. The last thing, which I find hilarious, is that Five gave us reflective panels on these 2 fingers. Think about it. And when I'm actually riding, these reflective panels are on the underside of my grip. It's not the best place for being seen, but if I flip somebody off at night, they're gonna know about it. I took a large in the WFX1 and they fit great. Of course, with all the insulation, the glove is rather chunky, so I don't get the best feedback from my controls. And therein lies the problem. I mean, if I'm looking for a technical sport and racing glove, then I'll get something slimmer with better touch sensitivity and just deal with wet hands. And if I'm looking for something to go sport touring in all kinds of weather, then maybe I don't need this much technicality and armor to begin with. It's a shame that I can't find a good reason to buy these gloves because I think they're an amazing piece of motorcycle equipment. And at $270, I actually think they're underpriced. So that's it for my favorite sport and racing gloves. Thank you guys very much for watching.